Ashton, how you feeling right now, man?
Yeah, I wasn't, obviously, it wasn't the result I was hoping for, but...
A little perspective. Last year, Jaden Daniels won the Heisman Trophy, and he was on about 90% of the ballots. You were on over 95% of the ballots, which is actually more than Travis Hunter was on. You might not have got the support that you needed, but what does that type of support mean to you?
It means a lot. It means, I guess maybe not the right people whose votes, I don't even understand how it all works, honestly, at this point.
Something that's a little easier, you got the fan vote. So people are calling you the people's champ. Are you okay with that title?
I really felt like I should have walked away with the award, but, kudos to Travis and, for winning. But, yeah, it's simple as that.
Reset TV, what's going on? What's going on in this beautiful Sunday? This is Gravitating Away, and I'm happy to be here with y'all, man. Shout out to the ones that tapped into my video the other day of Travis Hunter winning the Heisman. Since then, guys, many narratives has spurned out over Travis winning the Heisman, mostly involving Dion Sanders, of course, because that's where the hate is coming from. Why sugarcoat this shit? Let's keep it real. I'm going to keep reiterating this. The hate is coming from people, certain people, wink, wink, that just doesn't like the taste of a Dion Sanders being successful, which he has been the majority of his life in terms of professional sport. Well, the crazies are going crazy. After a spectacular season on both sides of the ball for Colorado, both sides of the ball, Travis Hunter received the Heisman Trophy. However, many people feel that runner-up Ashton Jeanty of Boise State was snubbed. Could Jeanty have won the trophy if he played for a P4 school instead of the Broncos? That's a rhetorical question, but that's the point. And as you guys saw in the intro, Jeanty clearly was upset. I mean, he's human. We got to give him grace. But I saw a lot of, I wouldn't say shade, but it's one thing when you think you should have been the Heisman, and then this is, I guess, a Kendrick Lamar, Lil Wayne moment where people feel like stick to congratulating, right? Which, of course, Wayne didn't. But my thing is, this Jeanty versus Hunter, Heisman, who should have, who shouldn't have scenario reminded me a couple years ago, if y'all remember, when Georgia was stated to play TCU for the national championship. And there were so many people voicing their opinions that they're upset that some folks are saying TCU shouldn't be there. They earned their way, yada, yada, yada. Well, TCU is the result of a 12-team college football playoff. And I still think maybe they should add a couple more. That's just me, because we got to keep it real, man. Competition still means something. Even in an era where NIL is dominating, transfer portal, the one thing that I'm always going to stand on is competition matters. For instance, this year, there's a couple teams that snuck into the college football playoff, and y'all will see that result. For those of you that said they got it right, I keep referring back to TCU versus Georgia, one of the most boring championships ever. The margin of victory was comical. TCU looked like JV versus an NFL team, never mind varsity. That's what you had with this Heisman Trophy award. Yes, it was close because popularity still means something, and Jeanty, to me, was popular, minus the Boise State fans and the Mountain West fans, was popular because he was going against a product of Dion Sanders, that being Travis Hunter. And the hate versus the praise for Dion, it's such a gap there. Where are the folks that are neutral that can put their thinking caps on and say, hey, let's bring it back to talent. Let's bring it back to the eye test. Let's bring it to stats compared to competition. I'm sorry,
type of program at Colorado. Just how do you kind of put into words what you were feeling in that moment and what your relationship means, obviously, with Coach Prime and Shador?
It means a lot. Those are the people that, changed my journey. I don't think I would have went to Jackson State if it was any other coach respectfully. But, Shador gave me that phone call, me and him talking, every day. Just trying to see, I got to know him as a person first, most importantly, then on the football field, because, over the phone, when you first meet somebody, you don't know about them on the football field. You're just trying to talk to them, get to know them, fill them out. And then being able to talk to Coach Prime right after and doing exactly what he told me that I will do, it makes me proud of myself, but also I thank him so much for changing my life forever.
Ashton, you just didn't have that competition that could have helped your cause. You can even go on Ashton's Twitter page, his Instagram, and people are just like, they're livid, right? So many little cheap shots against Travis. I think it's so unfair in a moment where we should, even if you don't care about football, sports, Caesar's game, because all of this entertainment is Caesar's game. There are those of us that can break down what we watch with sports and not bring it into our real world, right? Of real issues, things going on all around. But selfishly, we enjoy sports. Those of us that do at least knows this is a moment the young man won fair and square. That's Travis Hunter. But if y'all paid attention, the broadcaster, right, that was interviewing Ashton Jeanty tried to move the goalposts and put words around the narrative that Jeanty was on more ballots than Travis. And long story short, he basically was trying to allude to the fact that Jeanty got robbed. And Jeanty, low-key, for better or worse, co-signed it. And I'm telling you, this narrative will be pushed for eons. I mean, nothing new about it because many Heisman moments, right, were contested by folks that felt like this or that player should have won it. But I think this one is more interesting because there's a bigger narrative that I've pushed in my last video. I think for the last 2 years since Dion got to Boulder, Colorado, that narrative is the hate for the man, yo. I'm going to keep that, energy down y'all throats, pause, because that's the nitty gritty of it all. That's where the hate is coming from. It's aligned, that is Travis, with Dion Sanders, and people don't like it. Most of y'all aren't even Boise State fans. Most of y'all didn't even know who Ashton Jeanty was until midway through the season, especially as the season wind down, because you saw a moment where, although everybody was pointing to the fact that Travis Hunter is the clear Heisman, people saw that narrative being challenged by Jeanty, right? And y'all ran with it because anybody but Travis, right? I mean, take a walk with me through some of these comments. The backhanded compliments, the obviously rage coming through some of these fans. Some folks didn't even sugarcoat they hate. Some professional platforms, I feel like, is helping pushing the narrative that Ashton was robbed versus congratulating Travis Hunter. Look at this one. Congrats to Travis Hunter, a deserving candidate who is an extremely talented player and one that had a legendary season. Let's go back before we continue. One that had a legendary season, but Ashton Jeanty was robbed today, pure and simple. Crazy how Ashton Jeanty was the best player in college football this year. I don't think so. And got robbed of the Heisman. This same joker said the same thing about Michael Penix last year when he said, crazy how Michael Penix Jr. was the best player in college football this year and got robbed of the Heisman. Now, that particular Heisman, I think, definitely was subjective because you could easily see that Michael Penix, right, won the games that mattered, which was why he went into the 4-team college football playoffs versus Jalen Daniels, who, yes, was great, but I always thought that was a weird Heisman because Michael Penix was the man last year. That's just me. But I'm just showing you guys that you can't make everybody happy. They're always going to have a pity party. Again, when I said earlier in this video, there are professional platforms that is themselves fueling the narrative that Ashton was robbed. I went on one particular platform, and we're going to leave it there right now. We don't got to dive too deep into it, but let's break down one of their three reasons why Jeanty was the best player. We're going to skip the first two and go straight into the third reason they said. And I want you to pay attention to how the wording is, right? There is no question that Jeanty was the best running back in college football this season. Conversely, while Hunter was elite as a wide receiver and cornerback, he won the award because he was excellent on both sides of the field. Again, this is their words, not mine. He won the award because he was excellent on both sides of the field. However, there is an argument he was not the best player in either position. Here's why this take is so disingenuous. Travis won the Best Receiver award and one of the top awards for Best Defensive Back award. So even when he's being awarded for both sides of the field, right? The narrative now for this platform is he's probably not even the best position player for either at wide receiver or defensive back. So the reach is getting sick, y'all. The reach to find any justification, right, to put a stain on this man getting an award, I'm appalled and offended, yo. I'm appalled and offended because I've heard criticism about past Heisman winners. None so like this. And in a world, right, where most of these athletes always praise their coaches and mothers, you barely hear about fathers. Most of us barely heard about Travis Hunter's his father in his entire college football career. We barely heard of his father. You know, some people said Dion was like the father Travis never had. Well, Travis spoke on that and made sure he showed love to his father. That's what I'm talking about, black man. There are some fathers we don't know their background story, so folks automatically assume dad wasn't there. And even if dad wasn't there, Travis Hunter did something that I would like most black men to do. When you find yourself, right, in a stage where you command the attention of the world, even if you have nothing great to say about your father, I'd rather you not say nothing disparaging at all. Because Travis Hunter could have easily said so many things about his dad. He didn't. He chose to praise his father, reinforcing the fact and the notable symbolism what a father means to a child, specifically what a black father means to a child. Some folks might think this is a diatribe, but out of all the moments in the Heisman that I watched last night, and of all the other Heismans where a black athlete has won it, Travis did something that I just don't see black athletes do. You could even say in all of professional sports, I barely hear black athletes talk about their father. And here is Travis Hunter, who knows for a fact most of the world barely see his father. There's no news coverage of his father. He took on that onus himself and said, hey man, my dad means a lot to me. My dad pushed me. The love for my dad, with no question, is what I'm promoting out here. I'm not going to promote the typical stereotype that only my mom was in my life. The typical stereotype that my father means nothing. Amen, Travis Hunter. But back to Ashton Jeanty. I could tell by your speech about being upset about not winning the Heisman that, you know, you can keep congratulating Travis all you want, but I can tell you don't believe in that. But I respect the fact that, you know, you're a Christian man, which I already know a lot of folks are going to use that. Like, they're going to make it about the Christian running back versus the degenerate athlete that is Travis Hunter. An unfair assessment, right? But they're going to push it because Ashton is a diehard so-called Christian. I don't even know the truths of it because optics is everything. I don't know what you do in your personal life, brother. Ashton, that is. I don't know what you do, but I get it. The Christian narrative is going to be funneled throughout this talk of the Heisman versus a Travis Hunter, which a lot of folks, they paint him in this brush as an arrogant kid or whatever. Notice I haven't even spoke about Travis' so-called girlfriend. And real quick, y'all got to stop talking about her too. Pray for Travis, but do not give that broad the attention that she does not deserve. Pray for Travis Hunter. The folks around him that he views with high esteem, they will keep doing their part and keep talking to that man. I feel that in my heart. But back to this, Ashton. I know you think you should have been Heisman, but a lot of you guys don't understand the fact that competition is everything. For you to have won Heisman out of Boise State, do you know what would have to have been changed? They would literally have to start giving the Heisman Trophy out after the national championship. Meaning, if we would have saw your Boise State, right, Broncos win the college football playoffs and essentially the national championship, it would make sense to say you have a better argument with competition because y'all blew out all the competition. But that's yet to be seen. And mark my words, I've never been so certain that y'all not making it out of that college football playoffs. And then you guys will understand my narrative that competition matters. And Boise State is not up there with the best of them. I'm sorry. And look, man, if you're still hating on Travis Hunter the next day winning this Heisman, I would say go get a girlfriend, go get a boyfriend, go do something better with your lives. But hating on a young man that you don't know what obstacles he's had to overcome, it's very just disgusting, y'all. There's no other way to put it. You're disgusting. You're a fucking loser. Go make something out of your life. And you can keep acting like you're upset about Travis Hunter versus Ashton Jeanty. But I know you just hate Coach Prime. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I hope you have a bad day thinking about this. I hope you can't even sleep straight because your hate is so strong that young athletes is what surrounds the narrative in your head. I really do. But this is Gravitating Away on Reset TV. And I just want to say thank y'all for tuning in, man. Please help your brother out and subscribe. Like, if you liked anything I said, man, push this video, man. Because I saw y'all tapping in last go around and that meant a lot to me. And keep in mind, I had to delete so many videos over the last year trying to learn this YouTube thing, trying to learn the algorithm, trying to learn what I could put on here and, really trying to figure out how to do this YouTube thing. I got a lot going on in my personal life in terms of what I do in real life. I work with the youth, by the way. That dominates most of my time. I'm a father of 6. I'm a husband. So yeah, man, it's not easy, but I will say this. I'm not monetized, by the way. I'm trying to be, but I'm not monetized. But I will say this. As a hobby that I thought this was, it has grown into a passion. It is very therapeutic. I love YouTube, man. And I love you guys tapping in with me, giving your opinions, giving me y'all support. I've never been that humbled in quite a while, man. This is something that I really see I could blow up with y'all help. So, like a Travis Hunter, I ain't gonna make it nowhere with y'all help. And Travis, man, there are people amongst the haters, right? Forget about the haters, that is. There are people that support you that grows bigger than the ones that hate you. I feel that as well. So keep doing what you're doing. Please, with the snow bunny tactics, slow down with that. Other than that, man, help me, y'all. Help me wish this man success and all the brothers out there that just wants to make a name out here. That's all it's about, man. Just making a name out here. And shout out to you, Dion Sanders. You get the flowers that a lot of these folks don't give you. Shout out to you, man. I'ma holla at y'all.
Wrong way, bring it back.